Okay, you've heard all the things that I've read out based on this demolition of the hotel that was allegedly, according to the Anambra State Government, said it was used for kidnapping and criminal activities. Now, do you think that the demolition of this property sort of infringed on the right of Mr. Udoka? Because he is saying that that demolition shouldn't have occurred. They should have, carried out a proper investigation to ascertain what led to that grave, 30 partition graves that was found there. And based on the fact that the Chief Press Secretary to the Anambra State Governor, that's Christian Abrime, talked about the fact that there is still under investigation. So he is saying that his right has been infringed based on the fact that investigations were not carried out first to ascertain what really happened. What's your reaction to that?
I think it's actually a symptom of one of the worst problems we have to face with as Nigerians, where we are frequently punished before investigations are conducted, where we are frequently even cases are concluded by security agents, and then we are dealt with as if we have been found guilty, even before the matter starts. I want to also remind everybody who's listening to me that we do not encourage crime and criminality. I do not personally encourage crime. And nobody would want criminals to have a field day in any community. However, we also need to understand that one of the reasons people commit crime is because we live in a country that does not respect the rule of law. You may be wondering, what's the connection? The connection is that if a country does not respect the rule of law, it will be difficult for that country to prosper. If you doubt what I said, go and read Why Nations Fail by Samuel and his friend. One of the symptoms of nations that fail, one of the reasons nations fail, is that they do not play by the rules. They have different rules for different persons. So serious-minded individuals and serious-minded companies will not want to go near that country because they are unpredictable. You are not sure of what will happen to you. We live in a country where, just a little digression, not too long ago I saw a video where the men of the Civil Defense Corps were trying to arrest a foreigner who was ostensibly, allegedly engaged in illegal mining. And soldiers refused to allow the arrest. That's they prevented the arrest. And I was asking myself, would this happen in that man's country? They alleged that the man was from China. And in China, corruption is death sentence. So we live in a country where anything can happen. And anything and everything does happen. I want to just make it clear that I'm not here to discuss emotional issues. I'm not here to say, Chai, if I job this is terrible, 30 graves. I'm here to ask us a simple question. How can you go and demolish the hotel when you have not ascertained whether there are 30 graves, whether they're actually graves? The man said they were fish ponds. Did you see any corpses in the grave? Were the corpses there before the man bought the hotel? Who are you really punishing, the owner of the hotel or the people who left the camouflage? And you said with your own mouth that investigation is still ongoing and you demolished the hotel. So as soon as you finish investigation, you conclude and the man is not culpable. So what do? You rebuild the hotel. So I think the issue here is that we have institutionalized mob mentality in Nigeria. While government will encourage people not to resort to self-help, not to engage in mob action, the greatest purveyors of mob action in Nigeria is government. Because the way people's hard-earned properties have been demolished in Nigeria, the way Nigerians are punished even before they are tried, and there's marks of mob action. The way we even do things in public space, that is, we are not ashamed to announce that we have demolished this building. Let me ask a question, and this is a very sensitive question, and I want everybody who's listening to us out there to try to answer this question. There's a hotel that was built by Jim Wobbida administration called Ikenga Hotels. It's at Oka. I don't know the state of the hotel now, but just imagine for one moment that somebody used one of the rooms for kidnapping or for robbery, and you find camouflage that will you demolish the Ikenga Hotels? Or there is another resort at Agolo that's obviously very lonely because it's hardly in use. So if somebody takes a room there and then launches kidnap operations, armed robbery operations in that area from the room, you go and demolish the entire structure. They won't do that. I'm sure of that. Nike Lake Resort Hotel has villas. Actually, they have duplexes that are detached from the hotel. A daring kidnapper or robber can go and pay and live there. So if you now catch him, you demolish that building or demolish Nike Lake Resort, who would do that? So we are not serious-minded people when it comes to playing by the rules. And as long as we don't play by the rules, we are living in anarchy. And you cannot organize a nation to become successful when the nation is living in anarchy. It is institutionalized mob action to go and punish a person or an institution before you even conclude investigations. You cannot tell us that you are conducting investigations and then you have gone ahead to punish the person or the institution while you're still conducting investigations. So what's the purpose of the investigation? If you have already punished the person, demolish the hotel. And when you have demolished the hotel, if you now find out that you didn't do anything, what you do is to get into rationalization. You begin to find ways to indict the person and justify the demolition you've already done. Because a typical Nigerian will not say, oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. Let's go and reconstruct a hotel. No, I don't see a normal Nigerian politician doing that. So I think we need to get to that point where we separate the wheat from the chaff. What are the issues here? The issue is that they allege that the hotel was used to commit a crime. Forget the language of den and all those things. Those things are emotional. The hotel was used by criminals to commit a crime. That's issue number one. Issue number two, there's a law in Anambra State that says that if a hotel is used to commit a crime or a building, it will be pulled down. The third issue is that they said that investigations are ongoing, but they have already pulled down. Now, the first question I want to ask is, if you use a building to commit a crime and you go and pull down the building, are you punishing the owner of the building or the criminals?
But they said they received an intelligence report, and I believe the intelligence reports could emanate from other people within that area that led to demolition of that hotel.
They received an intelligence report that the hotel was being used for crime. Yes. What they should have done would have been to go after the criminals. The intelligence report did not say that the owner of the hotel was a criminal. That's why the man was walking free and said he was even going to report to the police and to investigate, to insist that he didn't do anything wrong. And he's bold in saying, this is what happened, that is what happened. I even suspect I've been set up by somebody who I have an issue with. So being a landlord now, building a house now is a dangerous business. I sincerely believe that law was ill-conceived. And it's not a matter of belief, it is true. First of all, you cannot say that if a property is used for crime, you pull it down. In total, that for you to pull the property down, a court of law, properly established court of law, will find the person guilty of permitting his house to be used for crime. In other words,
there should be a judicial process to this.
Yes, there should be a judicial. You can't pull down a house by mere suspicion until a law, it's a properly constituted court, says that somebody has been found guilty of an offense. The person is innocent. That is the position of the law in Nigeria. I mean, you are not supposed to wake up on a good day, for instance, and say that I don't have the right to fair hearing in certain circumstances. For instance, that's what Anambra State is doing on this occasion, that the man doesn't have the right to fair hearing because they saw camouflage and allegedly saw grapes in his hotel. I don't know this man. He didn't pay me to speak for him. I'm not speaking for him. I'm talking about principles here. Tomorrow it could be your house. You build a house in Oba. You are living in Abuja. Somebody rents your house. So tomorrow they see camouflage in the house. And maybe the person is a traditional religious worshipper. He has a small shrine where he sacrifices stuff to his ancestors. They now go and put down the house. People have shrines in their homes, not only traditional religious worshippers. The last time I checked, a lot of Catholics have shrines. And without due respect to Catholics, they have places where they pray inside the house. They have grottos, they have shrines, and nobody has vilified anybody for having shrines. Some Pentecostal worshippers dress up their olive oil, package it, and form a shrine in one corner of their living room. Nobody has vilified them yet for that. You see, if we are going to build a country that will work for everybody, we need to play by the rules. All these distractions where governors don't have a clue on what to do, and then they create diversionary issues to give us the impression they are working should stop. You cannot wake up on a good day and you don't treat issues properly. You cannot punish a man because you say you have a law and the law is even ill-conceived. The man has said the side of the story. You said you are still investigation. Let's say you're still investigating. Let's see how the investigation goes. Let us say somebody tipped you off and you saw camouflage and all of that in the hotel. Where are the people who kept the camouflage there? So what use is your intelligence when you didn't even arrest any suspect? The only thing you were able to do was to pull down a house. So we don't know who kept the camouflage. We don't know who converted it to a den of kidnappers. We don't know who the kidnappers are. What kind of dumb intelligence is that? So the only thing you achieved was to remove a building. Hello, who does that? And when you have removed the building, how has it made the place more secure? There are thousands of other buildings. So let us assume, without conceding, that the building was a den. It means that the people who converted it to a den will just get another building and convert the building to a den. So we need to compel our leaders to start thinking. You see, when we pretend that, because most of us have the mob mentality, it is the same mindset with which we beat people to death in the market that our political leaders are demolishing houses without investigation. Exactly the same mindset. So I'll not be surprised if people at home are clapping, oh yes, when you catch them, demolish the house. That is how they demolish. That is mob mentality.
But this particular method now in Anambra State, I believe it was found to be used for criminal activities. It should be demolished.
I know the law was there. I spoke against it then. I had multiple radio programs. I was like a prophet in a wilderness. They demolished a house belonging to one of Fako. They have demolished many houses before now. It did not change anything. The problem is that we are not thinking. The fact that it was there under 50 doesn't make the law right.